This is my second part to my alcoholism video. I just wanted to tell you about my first 3 months after I gave up drinking, because if you give up drinking and things are going a bit haywire, trust me, aren't the only one in this, because my first 3 months after I gave up drinking was absolutely horrible. One would think because I'd given up drinking I would feel good. I didn't feel good. I had a friend say to me, "Oh, you've given up drinking 3 months, you must feel great." No, I didn't feel great. I felt like shit, and I felt like slapping him for it. Like I said, I had been drinking every second day. I had to live and deal with life without alcohol, so I had to cope with that. Everything was changing in my life. I had to cope with that. I thought I was going mad, and I didn't know where on earth I could go, because I hadn't gone to any meetings or anything to give up drinking. I just stopped one day, and I did it one day at a time. I thought to myself, I'll just go today without drinking. I'll just go to then the next day and then I'll just go today without drinking, and that's how I stopped drinking for the 3 months. But I thought I was going mad. I had absolutely no idea what it was like to give up drinking. I was going through withdrawals. I had to cope with life, blah, 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 all the things I said. So I decided to take myself off to an AA meeting, which made me feel like crap because of all the stigma around it in my own mind about going to an AA meeting. So I looked it up and found there was one in a church. I thought, well, this is great. I'm an atheist. It's held in a church. This is great. I'm going to walk in the door and go, poof, blow up. So off I went to this church. It was in the middle of, right in the heart of Sydney, and to this AA meeting. And I thought when I got in there, God knows what I thought I was going to run into, all these drunks and carrying on and alcoholics, and well, of course I was walking into a room full of alcoholics, for God's sakes. So I got in there and I sat hiding in the back of the room like everybody does when they first go there, because I wasn't going to associate with these people. I was there because I wanted to see what was going on, but I wasn't like them. Of course I was like them. I was exactly like them. And I sat in the back of the room ashamed, and they're all walking around drinking coffee, eating sandwiches, chatting to each other like life's all, I'm thinking, huh? Anyway, I sat in the back of the room and they started getting up. The meeting started. They started getting up one by one. First off, before I start into this, I don't know what I was expecting when I got there, but I was surprised when I got there, because there was every different walk of life there. There was homeless people, there was housewives, there was blue collar workers, there was politicians, actresses, singers. Everybody was there. All these people were there for exactly the same reason. There was one woman there I particularly noticed, very rich, gold dripping off her and diamonds, and I thought, oh my God. I thought it was only for, that I only thought, well, I think you all know what I thought. Anyway, so I was listening to these people, and one by one they were getting up and telling their story. All different walks of life were getting up and telling their story. And I thought, oh my God, they're telling my life. The stories they were telling were me. Every single one of them was telling my story. From the politicians to the homeless people were telling my story. The content of their story, their actual lives were different, but the story of alcoholism was all the same. And it was like somebody had lifted a shroud off my head, and I thought, oh, I'm not going mad. I'm not in this alone. Other people are going through exactly the same thing. And this is what I wanted to put across to you. If you think that you're going through this alone, you're not. There's a lot of people that have exactly the same story. Why they're alcoholics or what happened to them or whatever may be different, but their actual story of being an alcoholic is exactly the same. So just know you aren't in this alone. And there is one other thing I wanted to say is, if you know somebody, if you're not an alcoholic, but you have a friend or a family member that's an alcoholic, don't try and force them. you can let them know and let them know you're there for them, but do not try and force them to give it up, because I'm telling you right now, it will not work. An alcoholic will never, ever give up drinking until they are ready. And that's all there is to it. You can sit there and tell, and you might be able to get them to persuade them to see a psychiatrist or go to an AA meeting or seek help, but I'm telling you right now, it will not be successful until they are ready to give up alcohol themselves. And it's usually when they hit rock bottom. My rock bottom was pretty bad, but it's not till they reach their rock bottom that they will give up drinking. And whether they do or not, who knows? But I'm telling you, you can't force them, so don't try. Just let them know that you're there for them, and that's about the best you can do. And smile, and don't you forget, have a nice day. And feel free to ask me any questions, because as you can see, I have there's no stigma to it for me anymore. I could not care less. I'm an alcoholic, that's all there is to it. I can't change that fact. If I can help somebody, I hope I can. Smile.